Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to Misala Reviews. I have another video comparison and forward slash, kind of review I'll try to do here at my best of my abilities based on my knowledge of this game. We have here today Metro 2033. I have the Xbox 360 version and the Xbox One version on my left. You may ask why he bought you doing these video comparisons, but my point and my objective doing these video comparisons of games is basically for people who maybe had never played the game before on 360 and chose to buy an Xbox One, or maybe they want to go buy it this time around, they're able to see the differences and what was different between the Xbox 360 version and the Xbox One version, respectively. Or maybe for people who, played it on the 360 version and enjoyed it very much and decided to buy the definitive Xbox One version since it comes packaged with the sequel and the DLCs as well. I would like to run through the differences as far as what was done cosmetically with the game, and to dispute any arguments or topics that people may have, because there's a big, question of should we buy remasters or should we not? And basically, it depends on the situation. If the remaster makes sense, like, something like a Gears of War or Halo 2, then yes, because the games are very old. They were on the OG Xbox, and we were talking about almost 15 years ago. It's something that it's nice to revisit with a new painted coat, resolution, better game mechanics, added levels, added DLC, better resolution, obviously, and better frame rates. If they, and even in the CGI cutscenes that were retouched, like in the case of a Gears of War or Halos 2. And then in some cases, like this one, Metro was only available for 360. It was an exclusive for 360 and for PC throughout the whole generation of 360. This is the first time it was re-released, and it actually came out to the PlayStation 4 console as well. So maybe, for that reason, also, if you want to revisit it, like I said, for people who never played it, can also get it on the PS4. These are the two Xbox versions. But essentially, the remastered version on the Xbox One is available on the PlayStation 4. So let's get to it. This is the menu screen. Please press start, gentlemen. Let's get into this gameplay. Right off the top, as you can see, on my right hand side is the Xbox One version. Once again, on the left hand side is the 360 version. So basically, what I can tell you, I don't think it's going to come out very clear off my phone, but I can tell you right off the bat the differences are the music. On the remastered version on the Xbox One seems to be remastered and retouched, or retuned, if you will. This is the menu screen on both, which looks very similar. The 360 version is 30 frames per second, and the Xbox One version right here is 60 frames per second. We're gonna get into a new game. So get into a new game, gentlemen. I have two of my wonderful hosts here helping me out. I have my son, shout out to him, and my son's friend, shout out to him as well. I won't mention their names just out of, for privacy issues, because I don't like to expose my family in any way, shape, or form. Here we go. Give me a sec. Please bear with us. No, leave it. Leave that alone. Leave that alone. Oh, leave it the way it was. Yeah, just don't touch it.
The tunnel grew colder.
Here we go. There's the
Miller and I were close to the surface now.
semi-introduction. On the 360 version, I don't know if it's narrated, but I know on the Xbox version it is. I believe it is on both. but you
My
can
long
see the
journey
menu
was
screens are
nearly
different
at the
when they're
end.
narrating the synopsis for the
But I had the
beginning of the
courage,
game, which tells you
the
the
will
setup
to
of the
see it
story of what's
through.
going on. Metro 2033 is based off a graphic Russian novel that came out years ago, and it's like one of the highest rated novels of that time. Both of you press start. Go ahead. You can go right into the game. And basically, these games are a
When you
first
leave the
person
command
shooter
station, you
with a
reveal
lot of
anything about the
strategy and
location of
survival
this.
in them.
Not
The nice
knowing
thing
about the
that
savor
I
world
can say
will
with the
send its
Xbox One version is that I believe they gave you the option where you could play the game and you could actually play the game without having any you don't have to pick.
We'll have to get through the
uh
military outpost to reach the surface.
well, I mean, excuse me for that. On the Xbox One version, you can pick whether you want to play in survival mode or if you want to play the game more like an action shooter, more straight up. You can see that the colors on the Xbox One version, okay, are more natural. They're more of a natural kind of look. On the 360, they're more vibrant and brighter, but that's because it has a lot of blacks in them. It has like a lot of crushed blacks. Let me see if I turn on this later. Oh no, I don't want to do that. So basically, it's a first-person shooter, action shooter. It has a very uh, in-depth story. It's in obviously a post-apocalyptic future, and you're trying to survive and get ration and find food and survivors to help you out. And you built up a military. You're living in the sewer system, and it's been inhabited. The upper grounds has been inhabited by all kinds of creatures and animals and people that look almost like zombies. Because I think of the radioactivity from after the Cold War, has had occurred. That's kind of a little synopsis on what the story's about. The game is really, really good. The game mechanics are fantastic. It was a very good title that got very rave reviews at the time on 360, of course. Again, like I said earlier, it was an exclusive. And as you can see here, it's just side by side. They have, you can see that they just show different stuff. The layout's a little different. It's more detailed on the Xbox One version, obviously. The setup, Jose, if you can, do the same thing Zach do as far as showing off. Keep going. I think on the Xbox One version, what they did also, as far as drastic changes, is they included what you call it, in-game engine cutscenes. They actually using the graphics of the engine to duplicate the same cutscenes you see on the 360. But the difference is on the 360 version, the cutscenes were created using cutscenes like cinematically, like if it was watching a movie pre-recorded. You turn on the flashlights.
Seems like no
You see that the flashlight setup on the Xbox One version is different. You have to actually do a pop-up menu and pick it. On the 360, you just press a button and you put on your mask. You see how they put on their mask. Now they're going outside to the cold, and they're going to battle. So, it looks. You can't tell probably from the video, like I said, but when you're looking at it up close, I can tell you this: it doesn't do it justice. It's a significant difference. You can really, really tell the differences with the 60 frames, the higher resolution, the softer anti-aliasing. There's no bump mapping like on the 360. There's no screen tearing like on the 360. The gun effects, the sound effects, if you can hear them, sound more realistic on the Xbox One version. It's a real delightful game to play. To be honest with you. Now, what they did was they did a sequel called Metro Last Light. And what I want to do here in a few is transition over and put the sequel on and see what the differences are on that as well. After we do this thing here, there's a lot more detail. Obviously, it looks a lot more natural, realistic on the Xbox One version. So for anybody who was on the fence and was wondering if they should have picked it up or if there was enough differences to garner you the decision to pick it up again, I hope this video can help you. That's my whole point and goal and purpose with these games. I was lucky enough to buy the new ones because I owned it digitally on 360 because they gave it out for free. The other thing is, I know a lot of people are, well, why would I buy another version of the game? Usually, what I do is I'll trade in the version I already own physically to the GameStop, get whatever I can get for it as far as credit and money, and put it towards the newer version and just pay the difference. Because me personally, if I'm going to own the game that's on last generation or on another console, I want to own the better version of it since it's available. What I usually do is I'll wait until it's on sale or it's cheaper, and that's when I buy it. This game here had a very fair price. It was priced at $25 for each one if you bought it individually, and $50 if you bought it as a pack. And the game was how can I say? The game, I think, for that price is fair. There's a lot of remasters they're making though that the prices, the box, it's not fair. And so I don't agree with certain things, and we're gonna get into that because I'm gonna do more comparison videos. As you see here, they're about to go into a CG on the 360. You notice it's a CG, and on the Xbox One, it's doing it in game. Let me show you guys a little something real quick. Here's what the box looks like on the Xbox One. For all those, and as you see there, it says Metro 2013 Redux and Metro Last Light. So yeah, the same action, and it's just scripted a little differently. This 360 version seems to also obviously load a little slower. The Xbox One version loads a lot faster. But I think after this section here is done on the 360, we can switch to Metro Last Light. I think that'd be a good idea.
But since the mutant attacks had escalated,
I'll turn this off.
fear ruled the station. I had just turned 20 and could never.
Yeah, you guys can transition and see how it plays out. I mean, the Xbox One version still has some cutscenes, but they're reduced and there's no loading time. It goes into the next segment kind of flawlessly. It goes in, seamlessly, rather. Let's quit and let's go to Metro Last Light and see, what are the differences there. So we'll go to quit here on the Xbox One and 360. Obviously, because it's older technology, you have to do things a little bit different. On the Xbox One, it has the feature where you software quit and you go back into the game, and it's a lot faster. Speed and convenience with these newer consoles. As you can see the Xbox One version right here on this side, the menu gives you the option to pick from both. So pick Metro Last Light, and then while my other assistant, which is my son, doing the 360, is going now on the 360 version. This is the sequel. This is Metro Last Light. And again, what I can tell you from what I'm seeing in the very beginning, these are the two menus. They're slightly different, I guess. I see a CG on the 360 version. Like I said, I guess if that makes it feel more cinematic. I appreciate that too, because it kind of gives them both a different identity. They both feel like they have something different to offer you, whether you play it on the 360 and the Xbox One. Me, my preference is just to play the best version I can get my hands on. But I gotta admit, I kind of miss the not having as much CGs on the Xbox One version. Press start there to see if anything happens as far as showing you. See, as you can see, the Xbox One version. Pressing start on it now. Again, it's the same differences from what I can see so far. The music is toned up. The colors are a lot more natural. Yeah, no, yep. They cut out this whole section here. You see this section here? This 360 is a whole CGI, explaining kind of a story, which is kind of cool. I guess they're showing you the backstory of how the world became the way it did. Now, I don't know what was the reasoning on why they decided to take it out on the Xbox One version. But I believe that because the game sequel came out on PS3, they had to kind of give them a backstory because they didn't have the Xbox One version, which was the first one. And that is why you see the CG on the second one. I think it was put in there deliberately because of that. So that the PS3 owners that got Last Light didn't feel lost, so to speak. So I don't want to keep ranting on. Let's see a little bit of the gameplay. I'll press start on both, and let's just get into it real quick. Again, bear with me. The 360 version has to load up, and you have to pick the profiles individually. It's just a different process. So again, I hope this videos help people that are probably interested in getting these games because they didn't play it on the 360. They didn't know, why or what were the differences. And so maybe somebody like me that has that's lucky enough to own both versions can kind of give you the insight and the information that somebody might be looking for here on YouTube, to give you the differences and explain it to you, so that if you choose to play the games or if you want to buy them, you can just buy them and you'll know now more in detail why they were done and what are the differences. Visually, it's not going to come off, I know for a fact, on my video, the way I want it to, because I don't have an Elgato. I'm doing it on my phone. But if I'm explaining it to you verbally, in detail, as comprehensive and coherent as I possibly can, and as clear as I can, I'm pretty sure that whoever runs into the video might be happy enough, and it might help them make their decision whether they should make the purchase or not, or warrant the purchase. So right here is not much differences. The colors on the 360, like I said, they're more pronounced, but that's because of the fact that the fact that the Xbox One version, has more natural colors, more natural lighting. The mist looks more like mist. See, here you go. Example, right here, they're giving you the story again. And the Xbox One version, again, has more detail. Has more natural colors. Again, I hope I don't sound like I'm, like a broken record. I don't know if this can be skipped. Can you guys skip this?
That with bare paws they could tear armed men apart.
I believe. Skip it. I believe you can skip it on the 360. And on the Xbox One you can't. And that's probably because on the 360, like you guys saw earlier, they gave you the video explaining you the story right on the menu or before the menu. On the Xbox One, they didn't. So here we go. The exact same spot. I'm sorry, I know the video is running a little long, but here you go. I gotta be honest. They're pretty comparable as far as the sequel goes. They have a lot of very similar look. If I had to, again, like if I had to take a guess, from what I'm telling you visually that I'm seeing in person, the differences is 60 frames on the Xbox One on this side, and 30 frames on the 360 on this side. And one is upscaling to 1080p, the other one is native 1080p. Sound effects are reworked. The music has been redone. More natural colors, softer textures, better anti-aliasing. The crushed blacks don't look as unnatural. They look more natural. But the 360 is holding well. I mean, I don't know how it comes out on the camera. It's faring very well next to it. So, you got to respect that, That just goes to say, that, how far the 360 came as far as developers being able to utilize the hardware. So, yeah, I think I'm going to close this one out. I got about 2 more coming up for you guys. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you like it. Please, rate, comment, subscribe. That always helps. Give me back some feedback on the comments of what you think, if you like the style or if you appreciate what I'm trying to do here, or if you don't like it. It doesn't matter. Everything helps. All opinions and comments, are always good to see. Again, thank you for joining me. Check me out on intromediagaming.com, or you can check me out in my Facebook group, The World of Xbox /Windows 10 device, with my family and friends, Mr. 100 and New Legal Felon. Shout outs to my assistants, my son and my friends, my son's friend. Shout outs to, Sega Forever, Master Chief, all my friends in Xbox Live, J Long, Sir Merkham, Tuck Master, all those great people like, Big Kahuna, Kaleida, and them. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you did some justice, and I help you out with your decision for all those who might have been looking forward to getting this game. This is Metro 2033 and the sequel Metro Last Light. We're out of here. See you guys soon. Keep it gaming.